there is possibly such thing as a bad CX strategy. Just because you've got a customer experience strategy doesn't necessarily mean that you're any better than anyone else. So what are the red flags? If you were looking at someone else's customer experience strategy, what are the things that would be a red flag for you that would make you think, it might be better for you just not to have one at all than implement this one? What would you look out for?
Interestingly enough, the first thing that I would look at, I would start with the employee engagement or the associate engagement. And why I think that is because it's very easy to say, have a customer experience or a customer-centric strategy. It's super easy to say that. It's much more difficult to actually enact that. And I think how to your hypothesis, if someone were coming into a brand new company, what I wouldn't do is start a big baseline survey to your customers. What I would do is start a big baseline question and survey and campaign to understand what are the employees or what are the associates experiencing, because your brand out to the market or what customers are buying, I mean, customers don't care at all about your products or services, like not one bit. They care about the value that it delivers. Right. And so you can have this shiny strategy that's product centric, that's customer centric, that's sales centric. But ultimately, if it's impact centric, what's the ROI to your customer? The first way you're going to know that is not by asking them, because typically, if you go out and survey a bunch of customers, you're going to get about a 10% response rate. But associate surveys, you can get 80-90% typically of your employees saying, let me tell you what's going really well, and let me tell you where the bodies are buried. And so back to that Silicon Valley case study we were just talking about, had a brand new strategist come in and said, hypothesis, we need to launch a 2.0 of this product, and we think it's pretty awesome, but I'm going to check with the ecosystem. I'm going to check the health of the water that the duck is in, as we were saying earlier. There would have been a slew of quantifiable and qualifiable data from employees that would just say, this doesn't make sense and why, or this is a great idea and why. Now, do I think that is the only step? No, but the step one is if your employees are not engaged, and engaged is not bean bags and free snacks like it is here in the Valley. Engagement is, I have purpose when I come to work. I feel like I make a difference. And when I don't feel like I make a difference, I actually know that I make a difference because I have a leadership team that quantifies that for me. And that should be at the level of every intern all the way up through your C-suite. So that's step one. Understand the health of the folks that work there, because that will tell you about the culture and the values. Those and how they make decisions. And you can see that how they make decisions and the type of decisions they make when their boss isn't in the room, and the type of culture and the type of shit talking or the type of, the negativity that can happen when someone isn't in the room, that's going to tell you so much about the product. Or the visionaries in the room that are saying, here's where I think I can help identify the problem and identify the solution. That's really the step one, is just getting a read on what's happening inside of the ecosystem. And then you know what the hell to go ask about evaluating the strategy externally. Because if you just use the tried and true tools of, likely to recommend, the questions, and this is important, the questions that companies ask customers, I call it the me show. It's the me show of, hey, would you recommend me? Hey, were you satisfied with me? What was your effort with me? Hey, want to come and talk about me at our customer advisory board? And it's so incredibly self-serving. Mm-hmm. And there are while that's helpful, there are broader dialogues that can happen with customers, but you got to know what the hell to ask. And I don't think you being the new strategist, you even being senior management, you're not in the weeds enough. And by the way, you're not paid to be in the weeds. So understand how healthy your ecosystem is, and you'll know even what you're solving for and where you are on that maturity scale of, okay, we just need to suck less versus we need to be ready to delight.